Today, we will be going over Airbnb's business travel vertical case. My name is Samad.
My name's Ahad.
My name's Grace.
My name is Joseph.
For a little background information, ABTV is trying to target the rapidly growing business travel market in Asia, but faces significant challenges, like its competition from TCA, an established local rival with deep market knowledge on cultural norms, giving it a competitive edge. Cultural and administrative barriers further complicate ABTV's expansion. Sharing living spaces with strangers is less culturally accepted in parts of Asia. Additionally, Airbnb's minimal presence in Asia limits its ability to build strategic partnerships with local businesses, a component necessary to build market presence. To address these challenges, Airbnb should offer regionally tailored services for Asian business travelers. Training programs for hosts can bridge cultural gaps and ensure regulatory compliance, while strategic marketing campaigns can enhance brand acceptance. These steps will help ABTV overcome barriers and establish a competitive market share in Asian corporate travel. I will pass it over to Grace to talk about how to resolve the strategic issue.
The challenges revealed in the executive summary led us to the following strategic issue. How can Airbnb's business travel vertical effectively gain market share in Asia by addressing cultural and administrative distance while building relationship with Asian corporate clients? The issue must be an immediate priority for organization because the growth of the business travel market is increasing and the Asian market is the largest in the world at 38%. If Airbnb does not take the proper measures to try and go into the business travel markets of Asia, it puts itself at risk for growth opportunities in developed marketing markets, competitors taking over the Asian market and having a high barrier of entry if they wait too long. We suggest that Airbnb offer locally tailored services to regions in Asia to appeal to consumers on a personal level. The primary criteria that we used is due to the growth in the business travel market and increased profitability for Airbnb. I'm going to pass it over to Ahad to talk about key financial indicators.
Some quantitative indicators that the strategic issue is important to for ABTV are the growth in Asia's business travel market, increased revenue from corporate clients, and changes in profitability. Growth in Asia's business travel market is substantial, with $291 billion revenue and 11.4% growth for China and $62 billion and 1% growth for Japan. This business travel sector in Asia is one of the fastest growing markets globally, and this substantial market size highlights the potential revenue growth Airbnb could tap into. Airbnb also has many profitable corporate partnerships, such as Morgan Stanley and Google, which allow for business professionals to conduct businesses with Airbnb operations. Corporate clients also have partnerships with American Express Global Business Travel to allow employees to book stays with Airbnb. This mutual partnership helps with American Express employees feel uncomfortable in nice apartments and homes while helping Airbnb develop its brand. Due to many companies wanting to partner with Airbnb, it may be safe to assume that many Asian companies may also want to partner with them as well. According to Exhibit 2, Airbnbs tend to be cheaper than business hotels. Airbnb business travel ready listings also offer greater occupancies due to customers being able to have accommodations for specific business traveler needs, which allow for greater revenue and higher margins, further adding to profitability for Airbnb. The growth in Asia's business travel market, increased revenue from corporate clients, and profitability changes are all reasons that indicate areas of strength for Airbnb in Asian markets. Now I'll pass it over to Grace to discuss some external and internal forces impacting ABTV and the business travel market.
I used a pestle analysis to analyze the external forces of ABTV. Airbnb needs to be careful of countries with political instability, which is the biggest political factor. If they're operating in a country in unrest, they will likely have minimal business and lose money. However, ABTV's benefits from several economic factors. Asia is one of the fastest growing business travel markets with spending over $1 trillion in 2015. Additionally, it is an attractive lower cost alternative for companies trying to save money compared to hotels in several cities worldwide. In order to remain in the high demand market, however, Airbnb needs to consider the cultural preferences of the Asian market. These countries traditionally value a work-life balance, which they would like to see accommodated in their travel. This means offering the ability to extend a trip or an experience from the host beyond the location. Convenience is another big priority. Rentals should be in proximity to the places of work and have easy check-in and check-outs. Technologically, the platform is all online, which can create problems for them since the technology in the United States and Asia differ. They would need to satisfy Asian needs by integrating platforms like Alipay, WeChat, and Baidu Maps to make the interface easier to use. Environmentally, the main factor we see is that Airbnbs produce less waste than hotels because there's less single-use items. And the legal factors are that each country has their own regulations on housing and rentals. Some of the regulations are that hosts are required to obtain license to rent their space, zoning restrictions, and long and short-term rental restrictions. To assess the internal forces, I use Via RIO. Their unique business travel focus is a valuable service that they provide. This is a relatively untapped market because of the traditional option is for business travelers to stay in hotels. However, with the movement towards comfort and accessibility, they're adding value by including a home office feel for individual travelers. Airbnb also have hosts across the world from their leisure market. This is a large supply of hosts that competitors don't have, making it rare. With ABTV being an extension of Airbnb, they already have established themselves as a successful business with customers that customers want to stay at, talking leading into their brand reputation. This allows them to have people willing to be hosts and companies that want to work with Airbnb due to their established trust. This would be difficult for another business to imitate because it takes a very long time to come as established as Airbnb is, especially when they continue to grow. Lastly, they've been successful in the leisure market across the globe, so they have developed technology interface and a host network that would allow them to be easily translate that into business travel as well. And now I'm going to pass it to Samad to talk about analysis tools.
Thank you, Grace. I'll talk about some analysis tools that I used when our team came up with the strategic issue for our case. Starting externally, I used the Porter's five forces. Threats of new entrants are quite low due to needing of significant resources, regulatory challenges in China, and lobbying in Thailand to require hosts to obtain licenses. In order to remain competitive, Airbnb, for example, leveraged corporate relationships with Amex Global Business Travel to integrate Airbnb into their platforms, which enabled several thousand new companies to allow their employees to book through Airbnb. The bargaining power of suppliers is moderate due to Airbnb's global scale, but hosts can decide to use other services like TCA if they feel like Airbnb's Business Travel Ready program has strict policies or is hard to adapt to. As a result, Airbnb points out several benefits like higher pricing, longer length of stays, and lower likelihood of property damage for hosts. The rivalry of competitors are high. Tujia already has a 4-year head start on Airbnb and a wealth of market knowledge in the Chinese market. With numerous regions and a $1.6 trillion market in Asia, Airbnb combats this with the implementation of both Bleisure, a program where you can extend business trips for vacation, and Trips, where you can learn more about the local culture through classes. Furthermore, the bargaining power of buyers is also high. Airbnb may want to keep an eye on this as corporate clients seek the lowest possible price for stays. It's easy for clients to choose a cheaper competitor. Lastly, the threat of substitutes is also high. While Airbnb's business travel ready is cost effective for corporate clients, there are some regions like in China where travelers prefer traditional hotels due to familiarity and cultural differences. Moving on to internal analysis, I use Porter's value chain. Airbnb has remained competitive internationally as they have implemented payment systems like Alipay to cater to the local population needs. For frequent travelers, it is imperative that there is ease of booking when requesting a stay. Airbnb has provided support in different languages like Mandarin and partnerships with Amex to allow Airbnb to be more accessible internationally, while raising brand awareness, especially after the name change backlash in China. With how fast Airbnb is growing, they are making it easier for first-time hosts by offering several benefits. It's important to keep an eye out and possibly implementing host training programs focused on understanding Asian business norms and hospitality standards. Operationally, Airbnb must do a good job of maintaining reputable hosts with clean amenities and good reviews as they can't afford to tarnish their reputation. Regarding service, Airbnb must collect feedback surveys to gather information on how they can improve their model in different Asian regions and to strengthen their relationships with corporate clients. Moving on to secondary activities of the value chain, Airbnb supports its infrastructure by providing analytics on customer behavior to design best practices for their BTR program. Lastly, Airbnb's ability to retain high quality business travel ready listings has allowed it to have a competitive amount of accommodations while meeting the expectations of business travelers. Now, I will hand it over to Joseph to talk about the potential alternatives that addresses our strategic issue.
The strategic issue is how can Airbnb's business travel vertical effectively increase its presence in Asia by addressing cultural and administrative distance while building relationships with Asian corporate clients? To address this, we propose three alternatives. First, Airbnb could launch a business-ready certification program tailored to Asian business travelers. This would require listings to include amenities like high-speed internet, reliable transport links, business-friendly check-in check-out times, and enhanced safety. Partnering with respected local organizations such as the Singapore Tourism Board or Japan's Travel Agency Association would ensure credibility and alignment with local standards. This program would address expectations for professionalism and safety, making Airbnb a predictable, trusted option for corporate clients. Highly effective, it aligns with cultural norms and local regulations while leveraging Airbnb's existing capabilities with moderate enhancements. Second, Airbnb could offer regionally tailored services designed specifically for Asian business travelers. These services could include listings with features like high-speed internet and dedicated workspaces in tech-driven markets like India, accommodations for larger family stays in Southeast and East Asia where extended family connections are culturally significant, and flexible booking policies to align with preferences for last-minute changes in fast-paced business environments like Hong Kong and Singapore. Partnering with local travel agencies and corporate platforms such as Rakuten in China, Ctrip in China, or Yatra in India, could further enhance these tailored services by integrating Airbnb's listings into established booking systems. Integrating with regional loyalty programs and credit card reward systems will provide incentives for business travelers to choose Airbnb. By addressing cultural nuances and local business practices, this alternative reduces administrative distance and builds trust among corporate clients to make a more attractive option for business travel in Asia. This highly effective strategy aligns with the external environment and takes advantage of Airbnb's adaptability and partnership expertise, though it would require localized knowledge to meet the diverse needs of the region's markets. Lastly, Airbnb could pilot hybrid spaces in key Asian business hubs like Tokyo, Singapore, and Hong Kong. These spaces would provide private accommodations with shared work areas, conference rooms, and high-speed internet to cater to business travelers seeking a home office experience. This innovative concept would address security and comfort gaps while leveraging demand for flexible workspaces. However, it requires significant investment in operational development, diverging from Airbnb's asset-light model. While aligned with trends in work flexibility, the scalability and regulatory challenges may limit effectiveness. Based on the criteria evaluated, we recommend Airbnb pursue preferred alternative two, offering regionally tailored services. To further adapt to this solution, our team came up with an implementation plan. First is conducting market research to understand the demographics, competitors, and cultural needs of the Asian market. Surveys with frequent business travelers and existing hosts would identify common needs and their locations. Using this data, the second step groups markets into regions based on shared needs, enabling ABTV to tailor host accommodations. For example, a region focused on technology could require hosts to provide high-speed internet, presentation tools, and other tech-friendly amenities. After the groups are made and hosts understand what is required of them, ABTV would launch a pilot program in big markets in cities like Hong Kong, Tokyo, Shanghai, and Singapore. The pilot program would be used to test the feasibility of the regionally tailored services and also allow them to collect feedback. This pilot program would also allow ABTV to get their concept out there to interested companies that would want to use the service in the future. This could lead to future company partnerships like they have with American Express and Morgan Stanley. To attract corporate clients, ABTV will roll out regional marketing campaigns emphasizing Airbnb's tailored offerings. The campaigns will leverage popular digital communication platforms such as WeChat, Line, and WhatsApp in China, Japan, and Southeast Asia, respectively, to enable direct communication with target audiences. These platforms will also distribute information on new features and maintain an ongoing relationship with customers. Doing so will ensure healthy customer-client relations as well as highlight Airbnb's ability to cater to cultural preferences and business needs. Finally, with the completion of the pilot program, the refined processes will be scaled to additional markets based on demand and success metrics. The following full launch will focus on integrating feedback, reinforcing partnerships, and expanding the reach of ABTV in Asia. This incremental approach ensures scalability, adaptability, and a strong foundation for sustained growth in the region. Through this structured implementation plan, ABTV can effectively overcome the challenges of cultural and administrative distance, ultimately capturing a larger share of Asia's lucrative business travel market. We assume digital marketing campaigns will attract corporate clients and travelers, though competitors might try to copy our strategies, challenging our market share. Additionally, while we expect business travelers to pay for corporate standard listings, competitors may enhance host offerings, urging Airbnb to accelerate improvements. Some difficulties Airbnb may face is challenges with host acceptance of business traveler services, potentially reducing housing supply, increasing prices, and leading to a loss of market share in Asia. Additionally, varying economic conditions and currencies across countries in the same region make it difficult to streamline pricing effectively.
In conclusion, the problem our team was trying to solve for Airbnb was how can Airbnb's business travel vertical effectively gain market share in Asia by adjusting cultural and administrative distance while building relationships with Asian corporate clients. We believe Airbnb should offer regionally tailored services for Asian business travelers. By implementing tailored services regionally, it addresses cultural nuances and local business practices while also reducing administrative distance and building trust among corporate clients. This will make Airbnb a more attractive option for business travel in Asia. Thanks for listening to our presentation and suggestions on the Airbnb case.